Meet Bodie. Bodie is a Missouri Foxtrotter. He is 5 years old, coming 6. He is 15.1 hands in height, and he's just a real sweetheart. I'm making this video so you can see what he's like from the saddle. This is us just going on a little solo ride. I turned the video around so you could see that I'm riding all by myself. This is just a little trail behind our house, and it's the first time he's been on this trail. There's a few things on it that, horses might look at it. There was a deer stand. It is a water line, so there's some large concrete, round access places. There's one coming up right here on the left, and he doesn't pay any attention to them at all. He rode out all by himself from the barn, from his buddies, just as kind as could be. He would go slow, he would speed up, and I'm doing all of this with one hand because I am recording, and I lift my hand occasionally just to show that, I'm riding in one-handed. And as you continue to ride, I don't know, reins kind of slip through your hands, so I'm riding very loose-reined. I'm prone to ride with a pretty loose rein anyway, but when you're filming for several minutes at a time, your reins seem to get very loose. So he's very easy to ride. He'll neck rein. He'll stop. I just pulled him up, just asked him to stop for a little while, just to make sure that, he would stop, be mannerly. You can see I'm riding with my dog. My dog does not bother him one bit. Ooh. Bodie is being sold as grade. He came out of registered stock, but the gentleman that owned Bodie had several horses, and he passed away. And his wife just wasn't a horse person and didn't know what papers went with the horses or even the mares. And so the young horses, the coats, she just didn't know which papers went with which horse. And I got him. The vet said he was 18 months old when I got him. So, I know his age because he was young when I got him. And then my sister has had him for the last 3+ years, riding him in a hunting string in Georgia, quail hunting, bird hunting. Now, this is on the Buffalo River in Arkansas and the National Forest. I am a member of the Backcountry Horsemen of America, and this was a work day, and Buddy just did great. We have to get off and on a lot to cut or move branches or cut trees that are across the trail, but also to pick up trash. And so I was kind of the trash pickup person this day, designated by myself, just to practice on Bodie, getting on and off. And he is moving his hips over for mount. And any place that I could find a log or a rock or a little ditch or a hill or anything, he would just move his hips over just so kindly, and it makes a huge difference getting on and off. I really appreciate that. Bodie's not bothered by the water. He walked right out into the river and got a drink. We crossed the river several times. He would pause and get a little drink almost every single time. No problem with crossing the water or going up and down the banks. Here you can't really tell, but we were on a steep hill and I was behind another horse that was stopping to cut this branch and had to pull him up, and he stood very nicely. I never did lead that day, but I ride him by himself all the time. He will certainly lead, but we rode in the middle, we rode in the back. He just did a great job. Now, if we would all stop and hold up, if everyone hold up, he would stand very patiently. Now, if all the horses rode off, because I was off picking up trash sometimes, and he would get a little fidgety and he was ready to go. But he's just a young boy, and it's just natural for them to want to do that. I've been selling horses for a little while, and I try to be as honest as I can about them as to if they have any holes in them or if they need improvements, any of those things. So I'll tell you what the horse is. And I've had him, and my sister's had him long enough that we know what he is, and we can represent him fairly and honestly. I'm riding him here just on the road so you can hear the pattern of his feet. And up here, there's a car behind. Again, I'm on, riding one hand, and I'm sure my reins are just flopping all over. But there was a car behind me. I was trying to pull over. Bo, come here. Bo! He'll get out of the way. Thanks. My dog got in the way. Thanks. I had to ask the lady to just go ahead and move on. Her dog was barking at us. All of this little commotion did not bother him one bit. We just pulled up over to the side and stopped. And here we are. We're going back to the barn here. Still just very, very mannerly. There's a mailbox down in front. I stopped him and opened and closed the mailbox. I couldn't film it simply because I was one-handed. And here we are just riding on a trail at a city park. So this was the second time that he had been to that city park, but it's a great place to ride, to desensitize horses, to introduce them to things. There's all kinds of activities going on. People, cars, bikes, motorcycles, everything. And just showing them riding all by myself. And none of that bothers Bodie. So in his other video, I showed how I rode him across bridges, and we were filming on his very first time to cross. So you could get a true idea of his disposition and his willingness to please. He just did a great job, and we were really proud of him. So I just show my hand here to show I'm riding one-handed, do a little range work on him. My husband and I show horses, so when we show, I'm prone to ride with two hands, so I ride with two hands quite a bit. But he'll ride both ways, and he'll work off a leg pressure too, not totally, but, you just put a little rein on his neck and a little pressure. I was probably using leg pressure here too, just to make sure that he would, he knew what I wanted with that loose rein I'm sure I've got there. He just walks along. He is no problem. He's just a real sweetheart. It's so nice to be able to ride a horse that you can just get on and be comfortable and not have to fight with or fuss with. And that's exactly what he was here today and all my other videos here. He is a sweet little guy. He's just so cute with his bald face blaze marking and his heavy eye-lined dark eyes. defining his eyes. It just makes him really expressive and cute. He just really kind of tickles me sometimes. So, when he looks at you, I call him Little Funny Face. I call him Little Bodie. My sister calls him Little too. I told her not long ago, it's like, why do we keep calling him that? He is 15-1 now, but to us, he's always Little Bodie. Here he just walks right past all that debris there. There's signs in the park. We are right now in the, let's see, on the disc course, like Frisbee disc. And there wasn't anyone playing here today, but he would have been fine if there would have been. He looks around some, certainly being, somewhere he's maybe never been before, but he's trusting. He'll go where it's asked. I go off the trail just to ride him around, just to show that he'll go off the trail, he'll go where asked. Now we're going to go through a parking area. So there's cars here. It's a little rough, a little hill we had to climb to get in the parking area. He doesn't even hesitate. In our other video, and in the description, I covered and showed that Bodie's good with tack up, with the farrier, loading, grooming. I've been working on him to ground tie. He knows what you want him to do. To get him to ground tie, I just put the lead or the reins on the ground. And that means to stand. If he takes a step or two, I'll just go to him and back him up a couple steps so he gets the idea. I'll give him a few chances. Here's one of these disc goals, I guess. And he walked right up to him. I just took him right up to it just for him to show that, he's not going to shy at strange things. But if when I ask him to ground tie, I will back him up and just give him the idea, he needs to stand. And if he wants to keep taking steps, I'll back him up farther. And then if he were to want to take some more steps, I'll back him up with more energy. He gets the idea. He knows what he's supposed to do. Just like moving his hips over for mount. Sometimes he's kind of slow doing it, but with persistence, he'll just get where he'll do it without any type of cues at all. And I was on the backcountry ride, and I kept getting off, and people were walking away. He was moving over for mount much easier and quicker because he wanted me to get on so we could go. He didn't want to get left behind. One time he almost knocked me down. He was moving over so quickly. We're just going through the woods again. We just cut off. There's no trail through here. I'm just riding one-handed. It is rocky. It's rough terrain. There's a lot of leaves. You can't tell what's underneath. He does not trip. He's a sure-footed boy. I was trying to think on that ride, the backcountry ride, some of the places on the Buffalo River and on the trail, it's sandy, but a lot of other places, it is very rocky. And I don't really remember him tripping a single time. it's just normal for them to trip some. So if it would have been anything out of the normal, I know I would have remembered it. But he just walks along with no problem. And as he's doing right here, we come out on the road. He is not bothered by traffic whatsoever. I was thinking, some traffic would probably go by us, but it didn't in this clip. But he's fine with traffic. It doesn't bother him at all. I don't know much that does or would bother him. He's been around, field trials and hunting. He's used to guns. He's used to dogs. He's used to handlers handling the dogs, calling or, yelling and blowing whistles and people going out to scout. And so he's used to all that. He's used to the dog wagon or the mule hack with dogs on them. So he's used to everything. He's a good boy.